Hello lovelies, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video will be on jumpsuit. One of my subscribers requested for it that I should make a video on it, and here it is for a 7-year-old. But disclaimer, please know that children are not of the same size, even if they are of the same age, so you have to measure your child to know the measurement of your child. But I'm going to put out the measurement I am using. So this is the fabric I'm going to be using, and we are cutting for the bodice, the front and back together. So I've folded my fabric. I've made the first fold, and whatever you're going to be folding is enough for your breast measurement plus your stitching allowance plus your zipper allowance. So I'm going to go ahead and fold over again. So once you fold, you can see the extra there is for my zipper, and what I have here is for my bust measurement divided by 4 plus about 1.5 inches for my stitching allowance. I hope you understand this. So the first thing I'm doing is to mark out a straight line, so that we'll mark out the label on the fabric before we continue with the measurement. So our measurement is going to be starting from that first fold, that's our center front. And for my neckline, I am going for the depth of it, I'm marking 3 inches by 3 inches for my neckline. So that's for my front neckline, 3 inches for the length and 3 for the width and 3 inches for the depth. And then we're going to go ahead and mark our back neckline, and for this I'm going down by 1.5 inches. You can see the back neckline is going towards the zipper allowance. Yes, that's how. So for the neckline, back neckline is extended towards the zipper allowance and is 1.5 inches. I believe I mentioned that. So I'm going to go ahead. Remember, our measurement is going to be starting from the center front. I'm going to go ahead and mark half of my shoulder measurement, and then I went ahead to mark my bust point, and then I'll mark my half length. Please check the description box for all the measurements for a 7-year-old, just like requested by my subscriber. So I'm just marking these lines across so that we'll be all sure of what we are doing. And I also mark out the straight line for our armhole, and I added ½ inch to the armhole. I said to add a zipper allowance to it, to add sleeve to this to it, so I added ½ inch to the armhole. So what I just did is to mark 1 inch down for my shoulder slope, and I'll go ahead and add and mark my bust measurement divided by 4. I'll add my stitching allowance, and then I'll curve out my armhole. Please remember that our measurement is starting from the first fold, that's the center front, and not from the zipper allowance. So we are going to do the same thing for the waistline. I marked my waistline divided by 4, and then I added my stitching allowance. We are not adding that to, if you've been following this channel, you will know that we don't add that to children clothes most of the time. That's because children they don't have that shape, that hourglass shape for now. In fact, most times their bust is bigger than their waist. So I just remember that I did not add 1 inch to my 1 inch stitching allowance to my waistline. That's what I added. Please hit on the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to this moment, and give me a thumbs up if you find value in this video. Don't forget to share my videos to family and friends, and please watch my ads. So we are going to go ahead and cut out the lower back of this jumpsuit, and I have folded my fabric into 2. So the first thing we're going to do is to mark ½ inch. So this ½ inch is what I'm going to be using to join the upper body to the lower body, to the lower body. Yeah. So that's the allowance I'm going to be using to join it. So I'll go ahead and mark my crotch depth, and I am marking at 11 inches. So for this crotch depth, depends on where your half length is. So you sit down on a flat surface and you measure from where your half length, where you have your half length, to where you are sitting, to the flat surface. Whatever you have there, you go ahead and add 1 inch to it, because you're going to be stitching. You don't want it to be too tight. So once you add you add 1 inch. If you want it to be more free, please go ahead and add maybe 2 inches or 3 inches, depending on how free you want it to be at that crouch area. So what I did now is to mark my lap measurement divided by 2, my upper lap measurement divided by 2, and I added 1 inch stitching allowance. So at that area, I just divided that lap measurement divided into 2, and I made a point there. So I'm just going to mark my hip measurement divided by 4 there, and that lap measurement divided by 2 that we just made a point. I'm going to go ahead and extend the line all the way to my waist and then to my hem. Then the next thing we are going to be doing is to mark our waist measurement. So we are going to go ahead and divide our waist measurement into 4, and whatever we have there, we are going to divide that into 2 again, and then mark one at one side from that center line we marked, one at one side, and then mark the other one at the other side. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'll go ahead and connect this. I'm connecting this one to the hip area, that's to the crouch depth, and then I'll connect the other one to the other side. But please, before connecting, make sure that you add 1 inch stitching allowance for before marking whatever you have. So you're supposed to add 1 inch stitching allowance to this front pattern before cutting out, before marking it out, so that you have allowance to, so that the back one is not too, won't come to the front too much by the time you are done joining it. So once I am done curving this out, we are going to go ahead and insert our ankle measurement divided by 2. So your ankle, you are going to divide it by 2, and whatever you have, you divide that one into 2 again. Mark one half of it to the one side of the line we marked at the center, and then mark the other one at the other side. I just hope you understand it. If you have any question, please leave it in the comment section and I will clarify you. So once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and connect this line to meet that line that we just marked. And that's it for the center front of this jumpsuit. As you can see, we are not at the waistline. I'm not going down by ½ inch or anything. It's just straight because it's a jumpsuit. And don't forget to add your stitching allowance at the hem area as well while marking the length of the remaining the down part of it. So this is it. I recut it because I did not add ½ inch on both sides, or let me say 1 inch for stitching allowance, just like I mentioned earlier. So I had to recut it again so that I don't have such shortage of fabric by the time I am done joining it. You know, we are joining at 4 places. So I just transferred the front pattern on another one, and what you're going to be, I'm just marking out the crouch area. So at that crouch area, I'm going out by 2.5 inches, and then at the back side, I'm marking 1 inch. So I'll go ahead and connect these points. So I'll connect this point, but while connecting those 1 inch, you will see that going towards the ankle is not going to, I'm not going to be extending it towards the ankle. So the reason for adding the allowance on both sides, front and back, is because I don't want it to be too tight for my daughter. She doesn't like her jumpsuit tight, so that's why I added 2.5 inches at the crouch area and then also at the back as well. So I'll go ahead and connect these points. You see the way I am connecting it there. Please go ahead and connect yours before cutting it out. And then after the crouch, you connect you connect it as well, and then the allowance is not going to be extending to the ankle area. You can see where I stopped mine. Please go ahead and stop there. There is no need adding more allowances to the ankle area. It doesn't you don't really need it, so that's why I am not adding any to that side. I just hope you understand what I am trying to say. It's late already, it's like I'm ranting all over the places. So bringing in our bodies, I am going to be doing front facing front. So I've gone ahead to cut out my what's it called, my lining for it, and I'm using the same fabric for my lining. So I did front facing front, and I stitched on both shoulders. Whatever I'm going to be doing for my main bodies, I'll do for my lining as well. So this is it after I was done with both the lining and the main fabric. The next thing we are going to be doing is to work on the neckline. If you want, you work on the neckline first before working on the shoulder area. I don't even know why I did it this way. So I'll pin down the two shoulder seam line, and I also pin down the other side as well. Once I am done with that, I'll start pinning every part of the neckline, the front neckline and the back neckline. I'm going to pin it all the way through. Just making sure that you arrange everything properly. And once you are done with this, I'm going to go to my sewing machine and stitch it from one end all the way to the other. So this is it. After stitching, I'll make some notches so that it's more relaxed when we turn it to the right side. So this is it. You can see that the shoulders are closed, the front and the back side are so closed. So I've gone ahead to cut out my sleeve and then attach it. If you don't know how to cut out your sleeve, I'll put it in the description box how to cut your basic sleeve. You will love the tutorial. It's so simple and well explained. So I'll bring in my front pattern for my lower part for my pants, and then I'm going to go ahead and do front facing front on it, and then I'll go ahead and stitch by 1/2 inch all the way to the crotch area, so just to the crotch. So this is it. After I was done stitching it down, we are going to bring in our bodies because we want to attach it to our bodies. We are also going to do front facing front at this point again. And then I'm going to go ahead and stitch it down. So this is it. After we are done stitching it down, you can see that the jumpsuit is coming together. So you're going to go ahead and work on the back bodies, and I'll bring in the back bodies. When I brought in the back bodies, I found out that is a bit longer than the front, so I did some trimming, like about 1 inch off. You can leave it that way. You can just plait it into the back bodies if you want, but I just trimmed mine off. So I'll go ahead and stitch this down and then do the same thing for the other side. And this trimming off depends on how fitted, or how these allowances that I added, this depends on how fitted, just like I mentioned, or how loose you want yours to be. So I'll go ahead and close up I'll leave open where I want my zipper allowance to be, and then close up the other side. So you can see how it is as we go on with the video. And the jumpsuit looks short, right? That's because it's not full, it's 3/4. It's 3/4. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to pin this area down. Once I pin it down, and then I'll go ahead and stitch from one end to the other. So this is it. After I was done stitching it down, you can go ahead at this point and then hem the lower part of it, and then we are going to go ahead and stitch from one side to the end, and then stitch at the other side as well. So this is it. You can see we're almost done with this style. I'm going to go ahead and attach my zipper to it. So once I'm done attaching my zipper, I just decided to give it a little design. I don't know if you you like it. So I just added that to the center front. And I can wear it in two different styles like this, or I can just tie it as a bow. I hope you find value in this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button and share my videos to family and friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.